Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the October 20th, 2025 Rules Committee meeting. We will start with introductions, and I'll start over on my left, your right, with, and get this name and see if they match, Garrett Dennis, please.
It's my name tag.
That's what it says on your name tag.
My apologies. I'm not Garrett Dennis. I am Bill Delaney with the mayor's office.
Colleen Hansey, Council Research.
Carla Schell, Office of General Counsel.
Trista Caraher, Council Auditor's Office.
Ken Amaro, City Council, District 1.
Randy White, District 12.
Chris Miller, Terrence Freeman at Large Group 1.
Good afternoon, Chris Miller at Large Group 5.
Mike Gay, District 2.
Michael Boyan, District 6, and again, I want to affirm my Nooney amendment for tomorrow's Finance Committee.
That's great. And visiting, we have Jimmy Peluso. Thank you all for being here. We will next go to public comments. Each person will have up to 3 minutes to speak. You don't have to take the full time if you don't want to, but the three speakers in order: Casey Roth, Dory Thompson, and Andre Green. So if Casey Roth would please go first, that would be great. And if you'd state your name and address for the record, that would be great. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Casey Roth, and my address is on file. And I'm here on behalf of Riverside Avondale Preservation. I will not rehash everything I said to everybody this morning. Councilman Freeman, good to see you, sir. So just what I'll say for now, just to keep it brief, is that Riverside Avondale Preservation, we are committed to preserving, enhancing, and celebrating the historic fabric of Riverside and Avondale, the arts and culture, the public spaces, and of course, why we're here today, the local businesses. And so with complete support of the ordinance 2025-0539, I'm happy to support that, and really I think it can do a lot of good in 5 points that, as you all heard this morning, needs it pretty badly. And so thank you all very much for discussing this.
Thank you. Next is Ms. Thompson, please.
Hi, I'm Dory Thompson. Address is on file. I'm a resident of Riverside, a landlord in Riverside and 5 Points. I'm a mother in Riverside, and I'm the president of the 5 Points Association. And I'm here on behalf to support the businesses of the 5 Points District in support of 2025-0539. The need for safety and security and beautification is ever so present. Like Casey said, I won't rehash everything that we talked about in the meeting this morning, but it is important to the businesses, to the families, and to the landlords that we have the support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Green.
Yes, Andre Green, represent Corner Lot Development Group, 1000 Riverside Avenue, Suite 600. Like the two people before me, I attended the meeting this morning. At Corner Lot, one of the larger commercial landlords in the 5 Points area, we are in full support of this bid plan. And also, I believe in your packet was a Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association Northeast chapter is in full support of the bid as well. We feel like it would be a great addition to making the area clean, safe, and help with the vagrancy in the area. Thank you.
Thank you. On the agenda, we'll first go to page number 5, and we'll take up our two appointments first. Item number 6 is 2025-0743. We have a motion and second on the resolution or bill. Mr. Robin Smith, if you would please come forward to the microphone and just state your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Good afternoon. Robin Smith, 5403 Floral Avenue. I'm here to seek your support to join the JHE Board of Commissions and I was the previous city engineer from 2019 to 2024.
I don't have anyone currently on the queue, but I want to give you a chance if anyone does want to make any comments. Councilman Boylan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Smith, I appreciate you for putting yourself forward and fully supportive of this, and I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
All right, look what I started here. Past President Salem, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I've known Robin in Public Works as a city engineer for quite some time. I think he's an excellent choice and can add quite a bit to JHA, and I'm fully supportive. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Past President. Next, Past President Freeman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Mr. Smith, do you have any idea what you're getting yourself into?
No.
Thank you so much. Please add me as a co-sponsor.
Next is Past President White. You're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're going to do, and add me as a co-sponsor, please.
And last person on the queue is visiting Councilmember Peluso, please.
Thank you, Chair. Echoing the same sentiments as everyone else, I've known Mr. Smith for a while. Very excited for you to be on this board. This board needs a lot of help. JHA is about to do some great things, and we need some good folks there to be their boosters and to support. I'd like to also be a co-sponsor as well. Thank you.
And one more added, Councilmember Amaro, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just didn't want to be left out. Mr. Smith, I don't know you, but I read over your background. I think you'll do a tremendous service, and given the remarks that have been set up here, I welcome you on board, sir.
Thank you.
Please add me as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. And I think I'll close this out, seeing no one else in the queue. Mr. Smith, thank you for the conversation we had, and you are eminently qualified. There's no doubt about that. In fact, we had that conversation about that subject. For me, it's all about qualifications, and you have an amazing background to be able to contribute in a big way to JHA. So thank you for stepping forward, and please add me as a co-sponsor as well. All right, seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0743. Thank you, Mr. Smith. And if you're available at next Tuesday's City Council meeting, we will recognize you then as well. If not, no requirement, but just want to offer that opportunity. Thank you. Next, we'll go to 2025-0750. I have a motion second on the bill. Would Dr. Tozalu, or I and most people I know call him Dr. T, if you would come forward and state your name and your address for the record, please, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. My name is Doğan Tozoğlu, go by with Dr. T, 2658 Cashier Lane. I am the founding board member, founding principal, and the executive director of River City Science Academy Charter Schools. It's a non-profit charter school serving about 5,000 students around the town. I know many of you have been at our schools, or we've been in your office. You are very familiar. And as a non-profit, we are trying to serve our community, to serve our future, actually. I am here to seek support for the PSG Council. And I have been, in the past, serving the Council 2 years. I am very familiar with the process, their goals, their mission. And I see a lot of great things happening with our nonprofits, try to help our communities in Jacksonville. And I am happy to answer any questions if you might have.
We'll first go to past President Freeman. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through the chair to Dr. T. One, thank you for putting yourself forward. There's no doubt in my mind that as a leader of a school that is a charter school that has just done amazing things in our city and has grown immensely. I'm excited to have your expertise on this committee as you make the tough decisions, going through so many nonprofits out there that are oftentimes doing great work in our city, and not everyone can get money. So really appreciate you putting yourself forward, and excited about this nomination.
Anyone else? If not, I will close out the comments before we vote. And Dr. T, as we've talked, I've been at many of your different events at the various schools, from reading to your kids to going, recognizing and celebrating all the achievements of the teachers and your improvements and your rankings as we kicked off this school year. Just really enjoy being with you all, and the climate and tone you have set with those schools has been amazing, and I'm sure that same enthusiasm and climate you're going to bring to the PSG Council efforts. So thank you so much for stepping up. And with that, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your vote, you have approved 2025-0750. And Dr. T, same thing for you. If you're available next Tuesday night for the City Council meeting, we'll recognize you toward the front end of the meeting.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fine with you.
Okay, we'll now go to the front of the agenda and just work through from there. This should be a relatively light overall agenda. There are a couple of items on here that will be taken up that will have some input, I'm sure, but for the most part, this should go pretty quickly here. Item number 1, 2024-0627 is being deferred at the request of Councilmember Diamond. Item 2, 2024-0966 is being deferred at the request of Council President Carrico. Item number 3, 2025-0539, we have 2 amendments, and I've been asked to take those up separately. You'll see those in your agenda as listed as Neighborhoods Amendment 1 and Neighborhoods Amendment 2. So if I could get a motion on Neighborhoods Amendment 1, I would appreciate it. So we have a first motion and a second on Neighborhoods Amendment 1. Would you please explain the amendment, Ms. Carraher?
Yes, through the chair to the committee. Neighborhoods Amendment number 1 corrects the language within Section 5 of the Charter regarding the services that will be provided by the district. We'll strike the reference to administrative duties within Section 6 of the Charter. We'll include the legal name of the 5 Points Association. We'll clarify the assessment for buildings will be based on the heated square footage of the buildings. We'll clarify the assessment for parking lots will be based on the GIS square footage. We'll clarify the supervisors will be appointed by the council president and confirmed by city council. We'll add an exemption for properties that are owned by or used as churches. We'll correct some scrivener's errors within the bill. And lastly, attach revised Exhibit 3, which is the listing of parcels, to include all parcels located within the district boundaries, and also remove duplicate parcels.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no one in the queue, all those in favor of the Neighborhoods Amendment number 1, please signify by saying yes. All those opposed, no. The amendment passes. We have a motion and second on Neighborhoods Amendment 2. Please explain the amendment, Ms. Carraher.
Through the chair to the committee, the second Neighborhoods Amendment revises the maximum annual increase to the assessment from $2 to $1 per heated square foot for buildings, and from $1 to 50 cents per GIS square foot for parking lots.
Thank you very much. And is it the desire of OGC, I'm not sure if it came from OGC originally, to keep these separate? Is that the intent, Ms. Schell?
To the chair, so you need to take up these amendments separately because Neighborhoods Amendment 1 was approved and filed several weeks ago when this was first taken up by the Neighborhoods Committee. So Neighborhoods Amendment 2 was just approved earlier this morning, so they need to be voted on separately. We'd request that you keep them separate. Otherwise, if you roll them up, then you'll have a rules amendment that includes both, and it'll be a competing type of amendment.
So if approved, then twice amended?
Correct.
Okay. No one in the queue. All those in favor of Neighborhoods Amendment 2, please signify by saying yes. All those opposed, no. The amendment passes. I have a motion second on the bill as twice amended in neighborhoods. I have two people in the queue. I'll first go to Past President Salem, please. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I voted against the bill in neighborhoods this morning. I'm not completely convinced of the overwhelming support for this, and I take raising taxes on people very seriously. I found a packet of information in front of me as I arrived today. I'll go through this with my assistant and try to decipher it, and by council night I'll have a decision. Thank you. But we'll vote against it again today.
Thank you. We'll next go to Past President Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, I would like to hear from the bill sponsor to see if anything's changed from neighborhoods. I watched it this morning, but I just wanted to make sure, and I do have a few comments that I would like to make, but he may answer those when he speaks.
Yes, please. Councilmember Peluso, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to Councilmember Freeman. I was hoping you would listen this morning because I know we went through a lot of different stuff. The Second Amendment was a big one. We had a few members of the community that were concerned about, because they weren't super familiar with legislation in general, they saw the potential increase of $2 a year per square foot to be drastic. So because the board is going to be made up of business owners and merchants, there's no way it would ever be that high, right? It's themselves providing an assessment on themselves. So there's no way it would ever be that high, but to allay those fears, we made sure to make that change. We had a few individuals that were actually in the audience this morning that said, we're on the fence. Once that amendment was done, they go into the back and they said, oh, now that we know that amendment was done, like, we're on board. So it was very quick that we're clearly showing through our work and through the efforts of the Merchants Association and the business owners that are there that are really looking forward to this. You know, we're willing to make some changes, and that was a big one that we did. The other thing I want to make note of, I got the number wrong earlier this morning. It says it right here on the sheet, there's 94 properties that are going to be affected by this. So as we see that there's well over 60 letters in support from property owners or businesses, like you're able to see, I think I said it was 125 earlier today. It's because I added those three numbers on the bottom. That was incorrect to me. So it's only 94 properties that are being assessed. And so I think we're seeing a drastically high number of individuals and businesses and property owners that are in favor of this. Lastly, tomorrow, because I know it's going to go through finance, I want to make sure that we get as many people here tomorrow as possible to help kind of explain this. There's a number of folks that didn't send in their notification letter, but are very supportive of it. I've got Matt Clark, who represents many of the larger property owners in the area. He's going to come by tomorrow and kind of read a statement on the different folks who didn't submit their notification, because we sent out like that speed bump, you know, kind of lettering saying you're either in favor or you're against. So he's going to speak for those who he's the agent for. Also, Scott McAllister, he owns 2 of these parcels. He didn't send anything in, but he's supportive of it. I'll get him to write a letter. We also have the Fiorentino group that has their headquarters. They just moved out there, and they said, we meant to send a letter. Sorry, we didn't. They'll send a letter tomorrow. So yet again, more folks who, you know, clearly are in support, but didn't do the wherewithal. And not to mention, it's going to be a full year using CBA dollars that I have at my discretion that we're going to give to the bid, so that there's going to be a whole year where nobody gets affected with an assessment. We all know the economy's in a tough place. So like, it's a good way for people to see the benefit and the effect, higher levels of security, people feeling safer. If you were listening this morning as well, you might have heard 2 of our businesses got broken into this weekend. And it's just really affecting people. And if we want to keep small businesses alive, and they're asking us to do this, which they are, I'm going to be in support of it.
Thank you. Going back to Past President Freeman, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you, Councilman Peluso, for adding some value to it. I really discourage any kind of conversations of raising taxes. or levying taxes on our citizens. However, through the chair to whoever can answer it to my left, can you explain the difference between an assessment and a tax when we're talking about dredging? We have some communities that do dredging, like off San Pablo Road, I believe, Island Palms, traffic calming. So this is indeed the community asking us to approve an opportunity for them to raise funds so that they can offer a level of safety and security for their area. I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding this.
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, that is correct. This is a special assessment on the tax bill of these commercial parcels within the mapped area. You cannot. It's my understanding that you cannot pay your tax bill without also paying the special assessment, although it is a slightly different. Legally, it's slightly different than a tax, but you are correct. There are communities that do dredging and have a special assessment for that purpose, and they're provided with that service. And this would be similar. They pay the special assessment, and they're provided with the services as outlined in that charter.
Thank you. And through the chair to the bill sponsor, Councilmember Peluso, how can you give me the confidence that this will not be another hog pen? I mean, I did receive some information or concern from a business owner, and so I've tried to differentiate the concept of property owner versus businesses that occupy the properties that the property owners offer. And this morning I heard you kind of tiptoed through it very eloquently, that those costs may be passed down. And so that in and of itself could be a concern to small business owners. As you said, times are tough and they're struggling. So that sounds like that means their rent would increase, but they would have more safety, and you're trying to say that more safety has more value. But what steps did we take to ensure that? Because property owners 93, how many businesses are in this area that is being designated for the special district?
Through the chair to Councilman Freeman, and I'd like to bring up Merchants Association President Dory in a moment as well. But one of the things that I want to make note of, and you can even clarify this story, more of the merchants and the retail people who are literally on the ground, they want this more than anyone. They are very much supportive of it, and they are very willing to accept that there's going to be, they know that there's going to be a pass-through. Property owners are the ones that are affected, but they'll likely pass it on to their tenants. And so that's where I thought I would see a lot more pushback from the people on the ground. But they're the ones who have the break-ins. They're the ones who have clientele or people being accosted outside. They're the ones who have to call JSO. So many of the property owners are actually some of the ones who are saying, I really don't know if we need this. And then when we kind of explain well, your tenants are the ones asking for it, it becomes a very different conversation. I had that conversation last week. One of the Slayman family members owns a strip mall in the area. There's about 8 retail operators right there. And when they kind of sat down across from us and we told them, how much it would be per heated square foot, they're like, oh, that's not that much. And we get security. We get potentially more JSO, especially on the weekends. This is great. And again, it's them assessing themselves. So I do have to push back on the tax portion. And I got to say, Hogpen Creek was also different because some of the individuals affected by that assessment didn't live on the creek. So we did have a number of people say, whoa, I don't live on that body of water. Why am I getting assessed? So anyone who's getting this assessment is going to get benefits of it.
No, thank you. Through the chair to Ms. Dory, how many businesses are there, and how many letters of support do you have from businesses? I've heard the letters of support from the property owners, but I've heard the council member mention businesses are in support of this. Do you have the documentation of that?
Not the full, but I know offhand we have at least 30 businesses that are very active in our association. And then a lot of the businesses are office spaces, so their operation's different than retail and restaurants, and it's the retail and restaurants that are experiencing some of the effects. Back to your point of, yes, we know, and I'm also a business owner in 5 Points too. If my rent goes up, we're kind of good with it. At this point, a lot of landlords are already raising their rent, and the businesses still aren't seeing that landlord may not be beautifying that space, might not be trimming the trees or pressure washing or doing things or providing security. So a lot of us as business owners are okay with it going up a slight increase because it might drive in. probably will drive in more foot traffic and beautification. As also a landlord, it might also increase the value of my property. I'm good with that.
Okay, thank you. And so, and my last question, and maybe someone else, I see some others in the queue. How many businesses are there? Like, I know he mentioned the difference in another scenario where they didn't live on the river. So will there be an opt-out? Like, I heard them say that it's going to be on their taxes, and if they don't pay it, you can separate the tax from the assessment. How many businesses will be impacted by this? I mean, to me, to get me to that level of comfort, because I have supported CRAs, I've supported dredging, and can find myself walking down this path as well with the assurance that I know there are 200 businesses, and there's a threshold for traffic calming, and I think it's like 60%, 66%, 2/3. Can you say on the record that you are confident that 2/3 of the small business owners, they're supportive of this? And is there a way that you can get us some of that type of information?
Absolutely. I believe there's at least 40 businesses. I can name them all right now, and I know I've got at least 25 letters of support from all of them. They all actively attend our meetings once a month as well. Thank you, Councilman Freeman.
Thank you. And Ms. Thompson, would you mind stating your name and address for the record again? Each time you come up, we need to do that.
Yes, thank you. Dory Thompson, 2105 Park Street.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Miller.
Anything else?
Through the chair to Councilman Freeman, we're probably looking at about 120. And that also depends on square footage of the space. So sometimes the space has only like one tenant, and then after that tenant leaves, they turn it into 2 different spaces. So it's one of the reasons why we talk about square footage, is because that doesn't always necessarily tell you how many tenants it has. Because obviously if 3 small retail shops go out, you could put 1 large restaurant in instead. So we're probably talking about 120-ish at the moment.
Thank you. Next, go to Councilmember Gay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Initially in neighborhoods, I did cast my vote based on a right to change it later with more information, and now we've got a lot of these forms that's been submitted to us from the business owners, property owners, and just a quick going through them. I've already found 12 that objected to it, and so that's kind of concerning to me, because it was more discussed this morning about it was just support and just a couple on the fence. So I'm highly concerned about the ones that object and how many more object, and so I'm going to be taking all this into consideration for a vote this time, but that has kind of raised a flag of concern. Thank you.
Next, go to Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just trying to get some numbers straight in my head through the chair to Mr. Peluso. You said 94 total, correct?
Through the chair to Councilman Salem, so 94 properties being assessed.
94 properties. You have letters or documents signed by 60, I think you said, correct?
Just about. That's property owners and merchants.
So less than 60.
You're just talking about the property owner. Oftentimes it's the same person. You're probably looking around there.
Okay. And you've got, 11 or 12 that have vehemently said, I'm opposed.
Well, in the letter that they received, they never reached out to us. They just said, yeah, they were opposed without asking questions.
So there's some 23 out there that we're not sure about that maybe will sign something but have not as of yet. Is that so? I'm just subtracting and getting a number.
To that question, it's one of the reasons why I said I'm going to try to get Matt Clark to come here tomorrow, who represents a number of those properties, as well as, again, 2 of them I know are a gentleman who's very supportive of this. He just didn't submit a letter.
I'm just trying to get my numbers straight.
Yep.
So approximately 60 for 11 or 12 opposed, and in the low 20s, we did not get a response from.
That's correct, sir. And again, based on the system that we use, we consider no response consent or approval.
That's a scary thought to me. An absolutely scary thought to assume no response is an approval, but I understand. Thank you.
Sir.
Next, we'll go to Past President Freeman, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. And I always just like to kind of put on record how I got to my why. I'm going to be a no in committee, but as I've said previously, and I'm going to be a no because I want to go through all of this now. I have supported traffic calming, and I put this in the same lane as that, so I can see a no getting to a yes. I just have a lot of homework to do here. I'm not a math major, I'm just a PE coach with a couple other degrees, but I got 120 businesses and only 40 of support. That comes out to 30%. The difference between dredging and traffic calming was the threshold was 66%, with 2/3 of a neighborhood, 2/3 of a community. That's kind of that's standard. Through the chair to Ms. Shell, I just want to make sure my numbers are somewhat accurate if they haven't changed from when I did a traffic calming at Ken Knight.
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, traffic calming requires 75% agreement. However, non-responses are considered agreement.
Okay, and non-responsive, and how did we confirm if somebody was, through the chair to Ms. Carla, how did you confirm if somebody was non-responsive? Meaning you sent something out and they didn't respond, or we went and knocked on the door to see if they were still living there? Because I know in District 3, when I was in ECA, a lot of the property owners lived in Miami, they lived in New York, and we mailed as a city to an address that the tenant did not live there any longer. And so it was brought up back then in 2015, the hypocrisy of saying that is a yes when the true property owner never got it. So is that still the same standard that we're leveraging or using when you say that a lack of a response is a yes?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman. So we did amend this section of code a while ago, as you may recall, to address absent landlords who don't live within Jacksonville and who would not respond. So with traffic calming, 2 notices are sent to the owner of the parcel, so wherever they might be, and they have 60 days from the date of the first notice to respond, either in the affirmative or they can disagree.
Thank you so much. And you said that number was 70% for that, and then 75% for
Through the chair, it's 75%.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So I'm going to keep doing my homework, and maybe I'll reach out to some business owners I know. And through the chair to Councilman Peluso, thank you for your assistance with parking. They were really grateful for that as well, because they were getting their clients were getting tickets as they were going to get haircuts that cost more than the haircut itself. So a lot of needs in the community. I see it. I want to be a part of it. I just want to make sure I'm building my argument based off of the facts and staying consistent to what I've done in the past. So that being said, in committee, I'll be a no. I'll keep doing the work and seeing how many business owners out of these 94 property owners are in favor of it. And I get it. If they don't respond, that is considered a yes. And if that's what we've done in the past, that's what I will continue to move forward with.
We'll go back to Councilmember Peluso, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to everyone for your comments on this. I know this is a lot to wrap our heads around. I just want to make sure that I reemphasize this. This came to me from the businesses. They were trying to find ways to get enhanced services because whether it be the city of Jacksonville or JSO just couldn't do everything that was required in such a heavy commercial space or commercial area. Myself, Brooks, and Dory went door to door to everyone and delivered handwritten letters, and then we also did the mailings. So it was 2 levels of trying to make sure we got as much interaction with those that were going to be affected as they could. On top of that, as I keep saying, involving, once the bid gets established, I'm going to put about $150,000 of the CBA dollars that were allocated for each district will go into the bid for year 1 because they're not going to assess anyone for a whole year. No one will get hit with an assessment until November of 2026. So now will be a year's worth of services, effectively from the CBA dollars, that people will be able to see the effects of. And that way, anyone who has questions or says like, oh, I'm not seeing all the full benefit, they'll get that year to really kind of provide that criticism, that commentary. Not to mention the board is going to be made up of property owners and merchants. So it's a board of these individuals being assessed. They're the ones going to be doing the assessment, working with the city of Jacksonville, with JSO, doing the landscaping, doing the cleanup, making sure that we have a commercial district that we're proud of. And I also want to make sure I reemphasize the purpose of the Business Improvement District is to improve business. So for anyone who's getting an assessment, The goal is that we're going to make sure that you get more money than what you put in. Like that's what this whole thing is about. No one should, whether you be, Edge City, which is one of our boutique shops, the UPS store, or River and Post, all of them should be seeing added benefit because of this and more sales because of it. Like that, no one should be walking away saying, I'm not making any money off of this. Why would I bother? No, this should be one of those, like, this is for businesses to improve. And they've all bought into that because they've seen it in other places. So I just kind of want to put that out there. Like, I understand this is a lot, but for any of you who know much about 5 Points, it's had some really tough years. And I mentioned it this morning, Moss Fire, a really good restaurant that a lot of us love, that's local owners, they're shutting down. We're seeing Rain Dog shut down, the theater shut down. Like, people are losing some hope sometimes. It's what it feels like. And as so many of us want to see it advance and be a place where, especially because it's like embedded in a neighborhood, a lot of those homeowners are you could see the strain on their heads as well, right? When they're like, there's a lot of noise at night and I don't see anyone showing up to stop it. Like, this is at the very least the business owners and those who have invested so much time and money and energy into their enterprises to get something out of it. They're willing to do this. We brought our attorney there to kind of show them, there's Dylan Reingold. We were showing them all the different options, and they were like, business improvement district sounds great. Because they said, why does Wynwood do it? Why does Tampa do it and we can't? So we said, here's something that has enhanced services. And I'm just giving you more information than you want. We did everything we could to get as much feedback as possible. That 1 year where CBA dollars are going into it, that'll be yet another opportunity for folks to literally see the benefit of it. And then when there's meetings being done every month, everyone will get an invite to it who's a member of the bid. People will know the bid is there and they will know the benefit of it. That I promise you. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. We'll last go to Councilmember Gay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to again reiterate that I'm very sensitive to the ones that object, and as Councilman Peluso was stating that some businesses are closing down, you got these that are objecting that this is not just a speed bump one-time fee. This is a yearly fee that will be ongoing, reoccurring. So it's definitely a bigger impact than a speed bump. So I don't want to kind of draw the two as the same. The no response being a non-objective response, that's just recently, Michelle, that's just recently been implemented because that wasn't the traffic calming procedure before, correct?
Through the chair to Councilmember Gay, that change was made in 2024. I don't have the exact date. It looks like October of 2024. Prior to that, there was no, the people who didn't respond were not counted as accepting of it. And that change was made primarily because when you have communities of renters and landlords were non-responsive, they could thwart such a thing with their apathy.
Right. So just, looking at, and I'm going to take a deeper dive into all these that have been provided, and if there's more that can come to us, Councilman Peluso, I'd greatly appreciate it but I'm real sensitive to those that are saying no, and the reasoning, we can speculate on the reason they're saying no, but generally it's going to be a financial matter. And so I want to be real cautious of impacting others that do object it. Thank you.
Go back to Councilmember Peluso. Hopefully we can land the plane here pretty soon.
Thank you, Chair. I mean, I'm okay. In that case, I just want you to know, like, there's still a lot of work to do, especially when this gets established. A lot of these no's, again, they're the property owner, they're not the person on the ground. And I'm incredibly eager to kind of speak with them. And again, they'll get the benefit of it for a year. They'll see the benefit of it. That's going to be something that I think is really going to get people's minds wrapped around, oh, okay, we're getting a lot more stuff. Like if you go to a new strip mall today, or if you go to Town Center, right, which is a Simon Mall, like all of them pay into the security, the enhanced services. Because it's such an old area, you know, it was built up in the 1920s, they didn't have that. So we're kind of like creating it decades later. And it's just something that's being requested now by the merchants and the business owners, and it's why we're here, but eager to continue talking about it.
All right, we're not landing the plane. Past President Freeman.
No, it's definitely going to land.
I'm going to start throwing that clock out there.
You won't have to. This is going to be very brief. As Councilmember Gay mentioned about the sunsetting of other ones, is that something that has been considered in this? That at some point, like CRAs have a sunset at some point, has that been thought of? If not, you don't have to answer that. I don't need to answer, but that's something that maybe between now and the council meeting, that type of information could be brought back that somewhat aligns to what we're doing already as a city. If there's something that aligns to it, it starts to make a little more sense. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to say I supported this in neighborhoods, and I plan to support it with this vote as well. With the caveat, I too share those concerns. I don't take lightly when we're assessing folks, especially and when we're assessing folks who haven't given a response. My numbers, even though we just jump back and forth between properties and business owners and the numbers associated with each, my raw numbers on the properties, 60 of 94 or 64%. While I would like to see that be higher before this goes through in city council overall on the council meeting, it is a long way from where they were, and a lot of work has gone into this, and I will applaud them for that, because in our meeting with the 5 Points Association president and preservation leaders, we talked about that. You really have to have the buy-in of the people that you're going to assess. And so I thank them for all that work that's been done since that meeting. So I will be voting to approve this for it to go forward, but my ask for all of the business leaders affected, one way or the other, both for and against, you have your opportunity in finance that it goes to next. So please, let your voices be heard, and if need be, during city council, the full council meeting as well the following Tuesday. So with that, let's open the ballot and record your votes.
Four yeas, 3 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0539 as twice amended. Item number 4, 2025-0600 is being deferred at the request of the administration. Item number 5, 2025-0740. I'm deferring that as for one cycle as the rules chair. There's some additional information I've requested, and I would like to have a brief follow-on meeting after that. So just wanted to explain that deferral was coming from my position. And then, yes, sir. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot. You told me about this, Past President White. I think he wanted to be a co-sponsor on this. Please, you're recognized.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Through the chair, I wanted to tell you I totally respect your ability, if you have questions, to defer this, but I have had all my questions answered, and I have full confidence in Chief Golden and Chief Holmes, and I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, please.
Thank you. Next to Council Member Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I had a meeting with Mr. Holmes, and very impressed with his tenure of service and his vision should he advance. And so I just wanted to add my name as a co-sponsor to his nomination as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next to Council Member Boylan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I do appreciate you taking the time to explain your cautious steps here in the process, but I too had a great conversation with Chief Holmes and appreciate the administration putting forward his name and Chief Golden's support of it. So I too would like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Next to Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. I also met with Chief Holmes and known him for a while and had a great discussion. And at the appropriate time, I'll be supporting his nomination and would like to be added as a co-sponsor as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And to Past President Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And because he spells his name the same way I do, I too would like to be added. No, I definitely respect our first responders, and Mr. Holmes has been a valuable member to our community and service to our city. And so I'm honored to be added as well as a co-sponsor. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. With no other speakers, we'll now move on. Number 6 and number 7 we've taken up. Number 8, 2025-0765 is on second read. Number 9, 2025-0772, second read. Number 10, 2025-0775 is on second read. Number 11, 2025-0781, also on second read. And number 12, 2025-0782, second read. Number 13, 2025-0784, second reading. Number 14, 2025-0785 is on second reading. And that takes us to item number 15, 2025-0787. I have a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0787. Item 16, 2025-0788. We have a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0788. Item 17, 2025-0789. We have a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one we have one person in the queue. Councilmember Boylan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and please bear with me as I take a minute to walk down memory lane. Back in 2003-04, when John Payton was mayor, and some of you may remember Pete Jackson, who worked for the administration, John Rutherford, Tree Vu, the 5 or 6 of us, I served on as a co-facilitator for a conversation called Study Circles, where we focus on race relations. And we had some very in-depth meetings. It was right at the time when John Rutherford introduced the tasers. And there was a lot of conversation at those meetings about those kind of things. But it's a very intense program where we try and walk in the shoes of others, and this very special circle involved these individuals. And one in particular was John Baker. In the last meeting of that study circle process, the question essentially is asked of the committee members, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to step forward? And John Baker said, I have an idea. And from that birth, the KIPP schools here in Jacksonville. He was really a prime motivator in the development of those schools. So I want to commend John Baker for his leadership on this and the fact that it came out of a race relations study circle process. I felt particularly proud of that because it's really important for us to have this kind of conversation. So please, thank you for bearing with me and sharing that story. I think it's important to appreciate the history of how some of these things get birthed. And I think this, and that seeing the success of the KIPP program here in Jacksonville is particularly rewarding. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank
Please
you.
add me as a co-sponsor if you don't mind.
All right. Please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0789. Number 18, 2025-0790. We have motion second on the bill. We'll first go to Council Past President White, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. Add me as a co-sponsor, please.
We'll next go to Council Member Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've known Karen for a very long time. We're friends, and I would love to be added as a co-sponsor on this legislation as well.
Councilmember Boylan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Please add me as a co-sponsor as well. She has served multiple administrations and served the city well. Thank you.
Past President Freeman, please.
Thank you so much. I believe I have asked to be added, but wanted to go on record and to be asked to be added as a co-sponsor as well. Thank you. Karen will be dearly missed. She was someone that always took my phone calls and did whatever she could to see that we as a city move forward. So, please.
Councilmember Gay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Okay. Seeing no one else in the queue before I ask for the vote, I will also add my experience interacting with Karen, even before this position, has always been that she's been a person of grace and professionalism, and has always also taken my phone calls and been very helpful every time we had an engagement. And I knew that if she took something on, she would come through and take care of whatever it was that she took on. And I'd like to say that's a common thing these days, but it isn't always so. And so I want to put that on the record that I appreciate you so much, Karen, and I appreciate all of your services, as was stated through various administrations. And thank you for your continued service, and I'm sure you're not going to stop. And so I just wanted to tell you how much we appreciate you if you're listening, and you may hear some more at council night. But with that, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0790. Item 19, 2025-0791. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0791. Item 20, 2025-0792. We have a motion and second on the bill. We have Councilmember Gay in the queue. You recognize, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. We next have Councilmember Amaro in the queue. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd love to be added as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0792. Item 21, 2025-0793 is in second read. Also 22, 2025-0794 is on second read, as well as item number 23, 2025-0795, second read. 24, which is 2025-0797 is on second read. And is there anything else that we need to take up? Anyone? Okay, with that, thank you very much, everyone. Meeting's adjourned.